We have a huge Brock Boeser injury update ahead of Tuesday's road matchup versus the Bruins, and we analyze and predict where exactly Boeser fits in this lineup once he returns. We're going to be breaking down all of that in this episode of Canucks Digest, but first make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss any updates surrounding the Canucks as we continue this long road trip. With that, let's hop into the first topic of the day, which is huge Brock Boeser update. So we see here from Dan Murphy that Boeser was in a normal jersey today practicing at Boston University during Monday's practice. It would appear he's ready to go versus Boston tomorrow night in the TD Garden in Boston. So this is obviously huge for Vancouver because they are getting one of their superstars back, one of the core four members of this team with Brock Boeser, Elias Pettersson, and Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes will also be back after that horrible ejection from the game on Saturday, where he was unfortunately ejected after that backwards hit on Norris. But Norris came back into the game, Quinn Hughes did not. So that, take how you will, it was pretty controversial. That's a whole other thing for another day. But the key thing is that Brock Boeser is back, and we are finally getting him back in this lineup and getting the jolt that we need for the Vancouver Canucks. And if you haven't been aware, Boeser has been out of the Canucks lineup since November 7th in a game against the Los Angeles Kings when he was injured early in the first period when Kings forward Tanner Jeannot picked up speed through the neutral zone and made direct contact with Boeser's head. Canuck forward was left on the ice, but it was able to leave under his own power. Jeannot was suspended for 3 games, but has since returned and played 3 games while Boeser remained out. And without Boeser, the Canucks have a 3-4 record, being outscored 22-26 with a -4 goal differential. They currently sit 5th in the Pacific Division with 23 points in 19 games played. While they are actually out of a playoff spot, they are just 1 point behind the Colorado Avalanche and Edmonton Oilers with 2 and 3 games in hand respectively. In terms of the division, Canucks are 5 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights, 4 points back of the Calgary Flames, and 2 points back of the LA Kings with all 2 games in hand. So clearly without Boeser, this is a big blow because even since his injury, Boeser still holds the team lead in goals with 6. However, JT Miller, who is on an indefinite personal leave, hopefully everything is okay there. Elias Pettersson, who has recently gotten hot. Kiefer Sherwood, who's proven to be the best free agent offseason signing in the NHL, not just for the Vancouver Canucks, and Pius Suter have all caught up and shared the lead with Connor Garland and Jake DeBrusk, one behind with 5. DeBrusk has really gotten going as of late, so we're getting Boeser back at a time where the Canucks are getting into a bit of a groove. These guys are starting to show up. Petey's getting going. DeBrusk is getting going. Connor Garland is still as fiery as ever and has been consistent throughout this season as far as just getting the jump start that we needed when Boeser was out of the lineup. Connor Garland has kind of been that next man up. So there's a lot of things that Vancouver has been able to do without Boeser, but they still have been outscored and outplayed and have been losing more games than they've been winning without him. So obviously when they get him back and get Quinn Hughes back after missing last game, even though they won, it does improve their chances of winning significantly because Brock Boeser, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He is the most clutch player we have. He is the biggest X factor player we have because look at the goals that he's scoring. Yes, he's not our team leader in goals in the past few seasons. He is this season and could be on that pace to continue that. However, the goals he scored last year, they were the biggest goals that we needed in the season. That hat trick against Nashville put the team on his back. Key moments when we have an empty net and he is that extra attacker where he is the one that is going to guide us to victory or at least start the rally. So Brock Boeser is one of the most crucial elements of this team, and having him back is so huge. But what do you guys think down in the comments? How excited are you to see Brock Boeser back, especially in a revenge game for Jake DeBrusk against the team that didn't want to sign him and he is making them regret it every step of the way? Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. But that's going to take us into our second topic of the day, which is where to put Boeser. So Canucks Army had an article out where they were talking about a few different options as far as where Brock Boeser fits in this lineup when he returns. So the clear-cut one, obviously, here is option 1. Of course, that first line, you're not touching Jake DeBrusk, Petey, and Kiefer Sherwood at this point. Those guys are rolling. The chemistry is going, unless they're the second line. But because right now they're just executing at a top level, definitely keep that first line out there. But they present the option of having him on the right wing with Pius Suter and Nils Höglander. I don't hate this matchup for sure. I think that this is a good line. This is a good pairing right here. I think probably the best pairing of the 4 options that we're going to look at. But again, because you don't want to break up Joshua and Garland, the later options are going to go into that. But Nils Höglander, Pius Suter, they're starting to get going a little bit. Höglander, I think, if he's on a line with Boeser, I think it's going to elevate his game more than it has been the past few games because Nils Höglander, he's been working his butt off, but that just hasn't really shown as far as results. We know he's been a rumor of trade discussions. So if you have him on a line with Boeser, it might elevate his play and get Boeser back to his form after getting back on the ice in his first game, kind of getting his feet under him, and Nils Höglander might be the one to help with that. And then you look at the second option there, where you break up Joshua and Garland because you put Höglander on the right side, put Garland up to the second line, so you have Suter, Boeser, and Garland. I don't hate this one either, but again, we just got Dakota Joshua back. I don't know why we would want to break up that tandem, especially when they are such a good line, especially when they're put on there with Teddy Bluger. So that's something where I'm not sure I love this option, even though I do like the idea of Boeser and Garland on the same line. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like it at the expense of Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland being broken up now that we have Joshua back in the lineup. If we didn't have Joshua back, I would say maybe this is option 1 to go with, but because we do, I definitely don't like that, breaking up Connor Garland and Dakota Joshua for any reason whatsoever. And when you look at option 3, there you have where Brock Boeser, Dakota Joshua, and Connor Garland. This one is a bit interesting, I gotta say, because like I just said, I don't want to break up Connor Garland and Dakota Joshua, but I like the idea of Garland and Boeser being on the same line. So really, while option 1 is probably the most likely, option 3 might be my favorite of these ones because it presents a lot more opportunities. Dakota Joshua with that physicality as a shutdown center in the middle, I think that bodes well. Connor Garland's speed and Brock Boeser's finesse on the wings. I think this might be the best option for the Canucks to go to because I think this puts up the best chance for the most physicality, the most finesse, and the most potential at goal scoring. I think it will present a lot more opportunities for them. And again, like I said, I like the idea of Garland and Boeser playing on a line together, but not at the expense of Dakota Joshua. So how do you counter that? Put Joshua on that line, put him at center. I think that would be a good move for the Canucks to make. But what do you guys think about that one? Do you guys think I'm crazy, or would you rather go with option 1? And before we get into that, we'll look at option 4. Where you do have Dakota Joshua, Suter, Connor Garland on that second line. And then you have Brock Boeser on that first line with Jake DeBrusk and Elias Pettersson. I don't hate this. However, I do hate the fact that it puts Kiefer Sherwood on that third line. I'm not exactly a fan of that. And I'm not a fan of breaking up Sherwood, Pettersson, and DeBrusk at this point, just because the past few games, they've been probably our top line on the ice at any given moment. So Connor Garland, he is going to be awesome on whatever line he's on, so that's not really a difference. But it's Kiefer Sherwood and Elias Pettersson. They've gotten a really good rapport going, especially with Jake DeBrusk and Petey. They've kind of really been clicking lately. So I do like the idea of Boeser getting back with DeBrusk because I think they showed some good chemistry early on in the season. However, I don't know if that would translate over, especially with the way that Kiefer Sherwood has been playing. Because like I said, Kiefer Sherwood, without a doubt, has been the best offseason acquisition of the entire NHL because we got him at a steal. Only $1.5 million, and look at what he's doing. He's leading the league in hits. He's gotten going really well as far as goal scoring goes. So he's scoring goals. He's playing the body. He's ruffling feathers. He's doing exactly what we brought him here to do and more. So why isn't that a candidate as far as the best offseason acquisition of the year? I don't know. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think there was a better offseason acquisition, whether on the Canucks or in the NHL in general? Let us know what you guys have to say down in the comments. That's going to take us into our final topic of the day, which is comment of the day. And we see here from Canadian Gamer, complimenting the Young Sinatra cover in my background. I thought this was just a funny comment because last video we covered Zadorov and all the responses that got. So I know that a lot of people were very much in agreement there of not bringing back Zadorov, but I thought that comment was pretty cool. It is a cover of it is a cover of the Young, not the Logic album cover, but it is the mugshot from the young Frank Sinatra himself. So it's really cool. I was able to get that at auction. I really like that people pointed that out. Some people have reached out to me personally saying they like the backdrop and want to just have some things in the background. If you guys have any artwork or anything you want to send us in, let us know down in the comments. We'll happily display it for you, especially if it's Vancouver Canucks or hockey related. We'll definitely make sure we give you guys the flowers that you guys deserve if it's artwork you created yourself or that you've curated. We definitely love to see all the support from the fans, whether it's just shooting us a message, interacting with you guys in the comments. We love to interact with fans because we're all hockey fans. We all love talking hockey, whether we have our differences at the end of the day as far as certain players, certain teams, or just certain sports in general. We all still love talking about sports. I mean, all of us on this channel especially love talking hockey, no matter what, especially when it is a debate. It's always fun. And stay tuned for more things like that coming up on this channel. Mark and I have been talking about some things that we want to do that are a little bit creative. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. What kind of videos would you guys want us to see if we're delving out of something different, where if we're doing some debates, some top 10 lists, what are some things you guys would love to see? We would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments. But that's going to do it for this episode of Canucks Digest. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of the road trip updates. But I've been your host, Griffin. Take care.